Leonardo DiCaprio is arguably the biggest star of this generation, but not everybody's his biggest fan. Some people say his films are great, but his acting is not as good. So let's break down the top 5 Leo films, both acting and scripts. Coming in at number 5 is The Revenant. Now, I cannot leave this off the list because this is where he won his first Oscar. Although I personally believe that he was given that Oscar because it was about time he won one for something after many good opportunities were missed. It's got to be up there. The script is based on a true story and it's a good script. It's a worthy watch, but it's one of those films that you'll find yourself, you watch once and that will be enough. Memorable performance, but I don't even think he's probably the best performance in this film. Good film, but not his best. But top 5 because he's won the Oscar for it. Now, at number 4, we are going a completely different direction. It's not for a starring role, but it is for a supporting role, and that is as Calvin Candy in Django Unchained, where he plays a racist slave trader who makes people fight for money. Now, that role is completely different than anything else on this list, and that shows his diverse range of acting. And in the story, in the film, he's very believable. He does a great job, and actually, he's really easy to detest in that. And I think he nailed that role. Great cast. Again, I wouldn't say he's the best actor in that performance. Jamie Foxx absolutely nailed the performance. However, it's got to be in the top 5 list. He is a brilliant character in there. And he is a real standout of the film. So following that, this is the film that threw him into the spotlight in the 90s, and that film is Titanic. Starring alongside Kate Winslet and directed by the wonderful James Cameron, it is a monumental blockbuster that has withstood the test of time. It's one of those films that you can watch for saying it's 3 hours. It was the first 3 hour film I can really remember where I could watch it again and again. Great film, great cast. And I think one of his most underrated performances. For saying he was so young in that film, he was really believable as Jack Dawson. It is a great role for him. Not his best, but it's up there. So coming in at a close number 2 is the wonderful Wolf of Wall Street, telling the real story of Jordan Belfort. He stars in a lot of films that are based on true events, and I tell you what, this one is a great story. He is so believable. I'm pretty sure he's just playing a different version of Leo. He nails it. Starring alongside Jonah Hill with a great ensemble and the wonderful Margot Robbie. It is a great story. But again, if we look at the 4 films I've done so far, each one is slightly different. And it shows you his diverse talent in acting. People don't give him enough credit because he's such a big star. People like to say that he just likes to shout a lot. I think he's a great actor, brilliant actor. But Wolf of Wall Street, great film. It's coming in at number 2. Great film, great plot, did a great performance. So number 1, there can only be one. There are some great films that I've missed out on this list. Great Gatsby is a great film. Shutter Island and Blood Diamond, even with a questionable accent. But there is only one film for me that can win this list, and that is starring opposite the wonderful Tom Hanks. Catch Me If You Can. Playing the con man, he is a wonderful performance with a wonderful story. This is actually a remake of a film that not many people know, but this is a great performance. How he didn't win an Oscar for this performance, I will never know. People said after Wolf of Wall Street that he should have won that Oscar. For me, he should have won an Oscar after this performance. Both him and Hanks were wonderful in this film. This is the best Leonardo DiCaprio film by a country mile, in my opinion. Some people will disagree on that, and there are some other massive names and blockbusters that I've missed out on this list. Put in the comments below what you think, who you think. If I've got this wrong, if I've got this right, it's up to you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.